Greetings and welcome back to another episode of Gnomoria and to Castlegoat, where I have recently redesigned the trap system. Just let me pull down the walls to show you what I've done. We have, as I described previously, pushed out this wall here, and that's what we're currently tiling up top. And we have set up the trap system slightly differently. I'll just pause time so I can go through this. At the moment, though, you can't see it because this is actually a full wall. We have the same gearbox there that's coming up from the vertical axle. That now is just traveling all the way down here under a single long axle, another gearbox there, and then coming down here along an axle again to this trap door. When this trap system is powered, first, this door will shut, killing anything that happens to be on the tile. It'll also transfer power along here and up and then across down here. Now the first thing that'll happen is this trapdoor will shut. So these mechanical walls will rise, this mechanical hatch will close. That will mean that if anything is trying currently to path and make its way into the kingdom through the main gates, that will seal. Now, the goblins seem to readjust their path fairly quickly. They don't tend to need to break all the way through the doors before they notice that this one is closed. But Mants tend to, from what I've seen. But in any case, once they realize this door is closed, they'll try to get in another way. And at this point, this door, or rather this trapdoor, is sealed. So it means it's a valid thing to walk over. So they can see a valid path leading all the way over here, across this trapdoor. This pressure plate is not activated, which means none of these trapdoors are closed, and this mechanical wall is currently down. Which means that they can see a valid path going up, around, through here, across, over the currently depressed mechanical wall, and then down those stairs, down these stairs, and into the kingdom. However, the moment that anyone steps on this pressure plate, this mechanical wall will rise, and all of these trapdoors will seal, which gives a new valid path along these doors to try and exit through here. Now, the idea is that someone will step there, this will seal, so they'll then step over here, which is now a valid path. Once they step off the pressure plate, however, power stops being transferred to these trapdoors. They open, they plummet, someone else steps up because this looks like a valid path, so on and so forth. The reason I've extended it is in our last large invasion, it was very big, and as a result, there was some concern that there'd be a long enough conga line of goblins that there would be no time where this pressure plate didn't have someone standing on it. So in essence, as this person was about to move off and step onto one of the pressure plates, someone else had already stepped onto the pressure plate from behind them. So this person now is stood on a sealed trapped door. And that would just keep on happening. And slowly a large enough force of goblins would reach this point to break the door and then get into the kingdom. So we've elongated this from 2 trapdoors to 4. That should give us enough time. However, I have just realized one thing I haven't done. Now, thankfully, the trap system is currently turned off. That means that my own gnomes can get out through here. All they have to do is go up these steps, along over this door, and out this way. They can't get out into the main area out there because this trapdoor is open, but they could get out through this way. But I'm going to have them build a door right there. So the first thing I need to do, I want to replace the floor with an engraved brick floor. There we are. Once that's done, I will place a basalt door. Now, these are engraved with, these are water engravings. It kind of looks like there are words scrawled on it. It looks like there is some sort of script. And I imagine these being sort of doom scripts. They're warning against entering the kingdom, against trying to attack us. We're not tricking these goblins. We are in a way, but we're giving them fair warnings. Like, no, don't turn back whilst you still can. Only doom awaits you further on. And if they still break through that door, there's an even more obvious warning. This one in blood. In my mind, it's actually in brick, but in my mind, that is written in blood, goblin blood. So it's actually, well, I don't know. Would it be green? It might be green. I mean, they do have green skin. Perhaps the oxygen moving molecule in their blood is not iron; it is copper. So they have green skin and green blood when it's oxygenated. So whatever. It's bloody script just saying, no, really, seriously, if you didn't believe us before, absolutely, you continue trying to get in, you're going to die a horrible death. And of course, they'll ignore it because they have some sort of crazy bloodlust. Maybe because, you know, we went to their kingdom and showed them their cousins and daughters and sons, you know, turned into sandwiches. But regardless, they'll ignore it. They'll try to get in. They'll all be dumped into the pit where they will then, well, either die on the traps or die because we shoot them. One or the other, really. They'll eventually end up in our sacrificial death room. But, you know, we did warn them, so we have no obligation to feel bad. Now, work continues on getting up here, and slowly but surely replacing this area. This is going to be our entrance into the noble quarters. Now, what I'm thinking is, initially I was planning to do something quite different, but I'm thinking that this actually does make a good little turning area. We could turn and go into the mountain over here, and then up. Ideally, well, we're probably going to have some sort of tower coming out here because this just is too narrow. But we'll be building upwards and having rooms that kind of jut out of the actual cliff face, or, well, the dirt, really, because it's not made of rock. Well, I guess it is a little bit, but that's the plan for the noble quarters. I need to change that floor. So let's go ahead and replace floor. I would like block, basalt block. I actually think that this looks quite nice, this effect, and it's going to continue looking nice. Well, I'm going to bring it up one more level, and then it's going to go probably through double door or something like that. It seems that way. I do need to top this off. Originally, this was going to be another tower that accessed it, and perhaps it still can be. I mean, there's definitely quite a lot of rock up here. There's definitely marble and sandstone, and there's probably even gems. There may even be some ores. Very unlikely, though, because I don't think unless you choose a map setting which gives you shallow metals, you'll ever really see metal that high up. But, you know what? Maybe I'll keep this. Maybe I'll have this being a tower that leads up and capped somewhere up here. Quite a tall tower that leads in here, and we can have another mine system going up into that particular mountain. Now then, let's have a look. You'll notice that some of our Poisonous Ancients, Troll of Reason in this case, has steel boots and steel gauntlets. We are actually getting fairly close to having all of the stocks that we want to fully kit out the Poisonous Ancients in metal armor. Let's just check. How many gauntlets? Pauldrons? No, not quite. Well, actually, yes, we have enough pauldrons now, so I should go ahead and change that. I am producing 16, even though I only need 10. That way, staplers will produce more, and that serves two purposes. First and foremost, if they get destroyed because they're fighting something dangerous enough that it can break through, then they can quickly go and re-equip. So I'm just telling the warriors now to re-equip, so hopefully they will immediately bail out of any fight and go and equip themselves. There we go. Their arms should be properly protected at this point. Let me have a quick look. Troll of Reason. And there we are. Steel pauldron. Fantastic. The second thing that it helps with is it gives me a bit of a buffer. And once Flying Staplers has made basically 8 full sets of steel armor, hopefully then we will get the steel tower shields that I want made because pretty much Flying Staplers is getting a priority on all of the metal at the moment. Once that happens, I'll be adjusting this. Currently, I've told the smelter to only smelt down to 8 full sets of armor, and that means we're never going to smelt any armor because Staplers is only going to make 8 full sets. But once I've actually built all of the steel weapons that I want, or steel shields in that case, I'll be dropping this down to 1 set more than I need. So if I've got 5 gnomes fully kitted out in steel, then I will tell them to smelt down to 6 full sets of armor, and that way Flying Staplers will continuously make more armor, getting better and better and better at doing that job. I've told them specifically to smelt anything that's less than masterful, and that is perhaps hoping for a lot. But, you know, it's going to give Flying Staplers plenty of practice. She may even make some legendary armor, and that would be fantastic. And ultimately, that's kind of what I want. See, I'm getting lots of this. Can't find path. Can't find path to what? I don't understand what you're trying to do that you can't find a path to. It's very... Oh, is it this? Really? How can you not find a path to that? I don't understand at all, but I suspect... Really? You stupid gnomes. They've been doing this for ages. Right, okay, break that down then. If you would be so kind. In fact, break that down. Break all of those down. I'll cancel this job for now. They've been having a massive bit of complaining that they can't find a path to do a certain job. I think I'm going to need to break this down so they only try to accomplish that job from a very specific path. There we go. That is... oh, dear. Don't do a thing. That is already gone. Yeah, that was a ramp. When you took away the thing that it was supporting the ramp itself got replaced. Okay, well, that makes sense. Right, next we want to replace the floor with block again. Unfortunately, I've been having so many of those complaints that they can't do the job. I was really getting confused. All right, let's also replace these floors. We want... yeah, we'll have block floors still, but these will be marble blocks. Like that. There we go. Now that'll connect to the marble stairs. Actually, I should probably replace that with, instead of block floor. Yeah, I should. What we want instead is something a bit nicer. So we want to replace the floors with engraved. Let's go for those. Engraved basalt. So we'll have engraved there. And additionally, I would very much like this corner part to be carved. Now, at some point, I am going to play around with ceramics. At the moment, I'm going to let the silica be built up a bit. Let's see, have we got any silica yet? No. No silica has been found yet, which is quite the shame because we need it for ceramics. I don't know what you have to get silica out of, whether you can just get it from the base stones and dirt, or whether whether you get it from dirt or from stones, and if from stones, if you need a specific one. I would doubt you need a specific one, but you never do know. Now, this little area down here, I'm trying to think of what I might want to do with it. I'm fancying this as some sort of massive overflow stockpile. Now that the stockpiles work slightly differently, I can afford to change them. For example, I could have a wall going down there and just make this a corridor, because it always has kind of bugged me a little bit, the idea that to get to the gladiatorial pit and the sort of gallery, which is meant to be kind of, you know, it's very posh. It's got very posh places, and then just seats for those who you know, aren't quite as important or haven't paid as high a ticket price. No, we don't charge tickets. It's purely based on your social standing. But either way, you have to walk through the storage room. That doesn't make sense. I would like a corridor there, so I could build a wall and move all of this back just a little bit, and I could make this into some sort of maybe furniture stockpile, a little bit closer, and this into an enormous just everything stockpile. Or perhaps I could have this stone and dirt up here, and then this just be an enormous everything stockpile, because then I can have all of the other specific stockpiles take from that massive stockpile. So they'll fill themselves up with what they need based on what this one has, rather than what we were struggling with previously, which was, for example, previously if this stockpile was full and they started putting marble in here, and then that got full and they started putting marble over here, well, what would happen is if this got emptied, these wouldn't be moved up into the closer stockpiles, which is the reason for these stockpiles, so that they're very close to where the resources are going to be used. If, for example, all of the marble had been used out of these stockpiles, well, then my mason has to walk all the way down here to get one block of marble, one chunk of raw marble, bring it all the way back up there, and then carve it, and keep doing that, which was the main reason why I kind of had these secondary and tertiary overflow stockpiles nearer the workshops. At this point, I could afford to just get rid of that, have a primary stockpile only, and have it fed from a master stockpile, or rather from a master overflow stockpile. And I may go to the effort of doing that. That is going to take a lot of rejigging of what I've currently got. It's probably going to take quite some time, actually. So, yeah. You know what? I think I've convinced myself. I think this room would fit that bill perfectly. There is one thing, though, and that is that I have been thinking of changing the way that we interact with the pit here, specifically on how our gnomes are patrolling it and interacting with the prisoners. That is, right now we have the sentinels who patrol here. they can only shoot to about this point. Maybe a little bit closer than that. So that means things congregate around here and never get shot at, which is a bit of a problem because they'll either die from bleeding due to the traps, or they'll just starve to death, or eventually I'll open up the wall and I'll have the poisonous ancients deal with them. What I've been thinking is changing this around. This would be for my militia, which would be equipped with crossbows. Crossbows which have a much, much greater range, plus a perk to increase their range, so a crossbow-wielding gnome over here would be able to shoot anything in this room. And that's where I would send a particular militia squad. They wouldn't be on a normal patrol, but rather, when there's something there to shoot, I might pick a militia squad to decide, alright, you're going to get some training, and I'd send them down there for one shift out of a day until everything in there is dead, and then I'd just take them off that patrol route. However, I still want the sentinels to get practice, and I still want them to have the blunderbusses. Eventually, once we've got some more gnomes, I want to have at least 2 sentinels in each sentinel formation. So the Night Watch, the Day Watch, and the Twilight Watch. Ooh. Hello, merchant from the Loveland. In fact, I've got a couple of other merchants that I've been kind of ignoring. But welcome, welcome. Come on in. Now, what I've been thinking to help the Sentinels is give them a less prestigious, kind of a bit more seedy, because they're proper military. The militia, perhaps it's a bit of sport, you know. They pay a little fee to get to shoot the goblins and see who can score the most. And it's kind of a cultural bonding experience, you know. The smiths and the lumberjacks come down here and they kind of chill out watching as the chefs and the boothsmiths are trying their luck and seeing how many points each person scores, and then they swap around. There's a little bit of rivalry, but it's all very good-natured, you know, the workers bonding in that way. And then down here are actual military patrolling around just the outskirts. I'd take away a couple of these little points, replace them with some sort of fencing so that the goblins can't get out, but have a very close patrol route just going right around this area. And then this way, the blunderbuss users would pretty much be able to shoot everything through the course of a full patrol. And that way, we should be able to thin out the numbers in the pit much faster, because I noticed that was the biggest problem with the last invasion. It took us so long to kill everything in there that the things that died first, their bodies had already completely decomposed by the time that we actually got in. So all we were getting back was the armor, which is great because, you know, obviously we want to gather the armor up. But yeah, so that is the plan for the fort for the time being. That's probably going to be more work than I can really do for a very long time. But I am going to continue work over here. We've got to reshape this area a little bit to accommodate what we're going to do. And I'm thinking we want to build a couple of torches out here. Bit of a cerebral episode, this one. I've just been talking over plans for the fortress, but it's been a while, and someone did ask me to elaborate on what I hope to achieve with the fort at the moment. And I'm going to get rid of you now. We're going to deconstruct this, and I'm going to build up some areas, some blocks and ramps, and then the final stairs. And we're soon going to be able to start working on the noble quarters. I'm really looking forward to that, actually. 4th day of spring. Unfortunately, we didn't get any nomads. Otherwise, I would have already brought you back the moment that the nomads showed up. But alas, no. Now, let me quickly check. Who have we got? We've had a few merchants come and go. We have... Okay, this will be the Loved Land. Our agricultural settlement. You know what? I don't know how much cotton we've got. Well, we've got quite a lot, but we haven't got any wool. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly trade everything I want from them, and I shall bring you back just to see what I've selected to trade with, and then we will continue with the redesign of this area. Go away. This area just out here. So see you in a few moments. And welcome back. We are going to buy everything that they have for sale except for the animals. We don't need to buy any of those. We've got plenty. We're going to buy that with 30 yak statues and 18 emu statues. We're going to let them have 5 gnome bucks worth of profit. There you go. Now that is going to throw our mantlaws right through the roof. I imagine, let's have a look, probably over 2,000. As soon as we get that. Yeah, 2,498. That will probably mean we're going to start seeing fairly high numbers of mounts showing up, maybe even enough to be a bit of a threat. I'm not sure if I'd quite go that far, though. Mounts would need to do some pretty amazing work to really start being a threat to us at this stage. Now, with those torches there... Oh, actually, you know what? I was going to get rid of this tile with torches up there, just, you know, to cast light down in here because it's otherwise quite dark and gloomy. But, you know, I actually don't even think we need it not to be dark and gloomy. It's meant to be foreboding. That's the whole point of that area. I think I'm going to replace this with skulls on sticks. That'll be awesome. And then we're going to have this area as the stairs. So I need to replace this with just regular stone across there with brick coming out. So let's go ahead and do that. So we want brick block floors to create the nice tiling effect that I'm oh so fond of. There and there, and also down here. I'll be replacing these block floors with just stone floors. In the meanwhile, however, we can bring out the fencing. So we need birch fences. Let's see, we want rail fences, birch of course, and there we go. I'm not going to place the fence all the way on the side there because I want to be able to get through and build the skulls on pikes. Let's build the floor up top. Unfortunately, this is a very big part of Gnomoria for me at this point, is just painstakingly building things. But you know what? I'm always very happy with the end result. I'm very happy with this. The only thing I don't quite like is the fact that the light is a bit weird. In fact, I'm so unhappy with that. I might actually change that a little. You know, I could just place a floor there, take these torches off, and then have two torches on the floor, like a bit of a lit beacon. Oh my goodness, I missed a torch. Well, damn it! I'm gonna have to make scaffolds to get up there now. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? Right, that's all set up, so we want to replace the floor with stone, basalt. There we are. And then we would very much like some furniture. Skulls on a pole. Have we got any goblin skulls? Ah. Well, we've turned all the skulls into skull helmets. Damn it. Okay, we're going to have to wait for the next goblin attack before we can finish this area off completely. And that is quite annoying, but oh well. I'm sure we'll survive. In the meantime, however, a mission from the Rainy Gear. We like you, because we always need more logs. But in the meanwhile, I'll just go ahead and clean the floor up there. Get these torches out the way. I will then fence this off. Ah, damn it. I just noticed what I've done wrong. They won't be able to get to the other fences. And they can't even get to that one. Ah, I'm noticing all my mistakes now. Alright, well, at least they can get that sorted. Next, we want some walls. And we want just regular basalt walls there. And we would like to have... You know, we'll have a bit of tiling there. So brick tiling. And then back to the block stairs that we're going to build up here. There we are. And same here. And as soon as that's all done, we'll fill that in with stone. And then finish off the walls. Then I'm going to use scaffolds to get up here. Place the torch that I've missed over there. And redo the roof a little bit so that the standing torches will hopefully light up the area above as well. So that is really one of the things that that frustrates me the most, is this sort of checkered pattern effect you can get going as a result of the way that light propagates through walls to corner sections and all little things like that. Not very high on Robobob's list of things to sort out, I'm absolutely certain. And with good reason, there are far more important things to work on. But it is one of those things that does frustrate me just a little bit. Right, we want... No. I would... Is there something specific to get the roof? I believe there may be. Or I could just be making that up. Terrain. incline up. Is that right? There we are. We make an incline. So we want wheat straw. That's the only type of straw we have. But this can be built regardless of whether there's anything supporting it or not. So we're going to build this out. Then we're going to have another layer of wood and then a roof. And that will actually give us the roof over the area for our farmers. You know, should it start raining or they just want a bit of a breather, 'cause it's hard work farming. They can just dip in there, maybe have a little bit to eat. They can't really. There's nothing stored up here, unfortunately. But still, they can have a bit of a rest and a chat. And it isn't very far to the nearest dining room. I have got a lot of dining rooms at this point. Now then, everything seems to be clean there. So let's go ahead and finish off this rail fence. I want birch again. And as soon as I have some more goblin skulls, I will be adding them on sticks there. And we want terrain, stone wall inside. Okay, once that's done, I can seal off the wall. In fact, I can do it down here already. That's going quite well. But I think it's time. I mean, we need more goblin skulls. And you know the best way to get goblin skulls is to send them the goblin skull helmets and sandwiches that we've turned all their friends into. And encourage them to visit us once again, because we definitely do need goblin skulls. I mean, we may as well just go up there and tell them flat out that that's what we're doing. I also need to adjust the patrol route here so it comes all the way out, but I'll do that off camera. But first, let's go ahead and do a little bit of diplomacy. Bad diplomacy, naturally. So we're going to send an insult. I don't think you can send goblin bits as a tribute. No, you can't. Which is a shame. Right, okay, so everything here is up for grabs. We've got 24 poor goblin sausages. We're not going to send any of the two-headed ogre hide. No. We will, however, send... Do we have anything? Do the skull helmets not work? Really? Oh, that's quite unfortunate. Let me see. Can I send them goblin statuettes as a tribute? No. Do I have any goblin statuettes? Let me just double check that. I thought... Oh, perhaps they only make skull helmets. Ah. If that's the case, I will actually stop making the skull helmets. I mean, it's pretty good for our bone carver to level up a bit, but... We've got 228 skull helmets because we haven't been doing anything with them. Well, that's annoying. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to end up turning that off. I mean, our bone carver is still going to be making statuettes out of bone, so there's really, there's still plenty of opportunity for them to improve. Statuettes. Oh, I'm not in the right menu. I would like statuettes. Let's see. Oh, apparently goblins don't have any bones. So we're not making goblin statuettes, which is a shame. Okay, right, that's it. We're not making any more of these. Cancel that. Or the ogre ones, because I can't. I don't appear to be able to send them on. So we're just going to go ahead and have you just make statuettes. I could set you up to make skull helmets for only things that aren't goblins or ogres, but no, I don't think that we'll actually do that. Right, back to the diplomacy then, and then that will be the end of this episode. We will see just how mad we can make the goblins. Right, we're going to send off all of the goblin meat. They're infuriated. I sent off about 4,000 worth of... Oh, wow, I'm already close to that. 4,000 odd worth of anger we got from them last time, and that resulted in the enormous wave. Let's send some of these and some goblin sausages. In fact, we'll get rid of all of this. Some good sausages, some sandwiches we could send, but I don't want to. This is probably sandwiches still. Alright then. We'll send some sandwiches too. Let's see. It looks like it won't actually be that far off what it was before. Okay, should we keep going? Oh, we're very high now. Should we just stop at 6,000-ish? There we are. That's good enough. We're going to see how many people they send in response to this. And of all the people that we could send, I think it should be Deathbot. Deathbot the chef. having made many of these, no doubt, well, except the meat, that would have been one of the butchers. Actually, that could still be Deathbot, but no, I think it's a flesh smith. Actually, shall we see if we can find a flesh smith? Do I have flesh smith? Yeah, ArchXL. ArchXL is going to go forth, the brave flesh smith, to deliver. Ooh, no, wait. No, we are going to go with Deathbot. I do apologize for the back and forthing there, but if I send ArchXL, our flesh smiths also carve, so we would have a drop in statuette production, and no, we can't do that. We need the gears of industry must continue to grind. There we are. That is the potentially game-destroying amount there. As last time, yeah, the lag was pretty bad. So we're going to send off Deathbot in hopes that he can infuriate the goblins a little bit more. Now, let's just check on population, make sure that Deathbot is heading out. Departing! Best of luck, Deathbot. You take all our hopes and dreams for many, many goblin and two-headed ogre skulls, because we really do need them to finish off this awesome trap area. But then that will be that. And we're finishing off the walls there. But I think I'm going to wrap this episode up there. So, with Deathbot heading out to deliver an enormous taunt to the goblins, I am going to have to leave you. I do hope you've enjoyed and will be joining me again for the next episode. But until then, and as always, and I thought that was going to happen, do take care.